Voices of Immigration in America, Part 2. This piece is part of a three-part series on immigration. In Part 1, we heard from immigrants, some legal, some not. In Part 2, we hear from long-standing members of the community, all citizens, whose lives have each been shaped by immigration in personal, complicated ways. In Part 3, we'll bring the two groups together for a conversation. Part 2. What citizens have to say. This story takes place in a town hall in a progressive American city known for its inclusive policies and diverse communities. It's a sanctuary city. A banner reads Immigration, Voices from the Community. The moderator, a seasoned community organizer, steps to the podium. Thank you for being here. Last week, we asked immigrants to speak honestly about their experiences in this country. Many of those stories were difficult to hear, but necessary. Tonight, we offer the same opportunity to members of the broader community. Some of you are children of immigrants yourselves. All of you are citizens. What you all share is a deep investment in this community. In this neighborhood, this city, this country, we're not here to debate facts or hash out legislation. We're here to listen, to hear your stories. Lived ones, real ones. Let's begin with you, Mary. Mary, a nurse in her late 50s, rises and walks slowly to the front of the room. She speaks clearly, but warily. She's exhausted. She has lived in this city her entire life. She was born here. She's worked in the emergency room of the public hospital for over 30 years. Her mother was a nurse, and so was her grandmother. Mary describes what it's like in the ER these days. Crowded waiting rooms, overflowing beds, underpaid staff. People come in with no insurance, no identification, and no way to pay. They get treated anyway. That's how it works. That's why they come to the emergency room even when it's not an emergency. Mary has no resentment toward the patients, but she does feel the strain. Resources aren't infinite, she says, and we're already stretched way too thin. Mary says coworkers have retired early due to burnout. Others have left for private hospitals or for jobs in other fields. Pretty soon there won't be any staff left. Mary stays because she loves her job, but she's tired of being called cold, uncaring, or cruel when she simply points out the obvious. The system is broken. I don't want anyone to suffer, she says, but someone needs to be honest about the cost. Ryan, a firefighter, starts by saying that his fire station has the same staffing and budget issues as the hospital Mary works at. He says he's sorry if he's not sympathetic, but allocation of resources to help the undocumented has put a huge burden on all first responders, that it's destroying the city. He says we put our lives at risk. And for what? People who entered illegally. His issue isn't with immigration, it's with illegal immigration. Those who don't even try to learn the language, who don't try to assimilate, who always take and never give back, who don't respect this country the way he does. Ryan continues, how can I teach my children that honesty is the best policy, that they should do the right thing, when all around them they see it isn't true? Derek, a business owner in his 40s, speaks next. He owns a barber shop just down the street, built it from the ground up. He puts money back into the community, gives back in other ways too. He hires local teenagers to give them a start. But business has slowed. More people are getting haircuts in living rooms and garages. Cash only, no license, no overhead, no taxes. He respects the hustle. What he doesn't respect is the imbalance. I play by the rules, he says. They don't, and I'm the one getting squeezed. Derek also brings up something deeper. Inequality. He talks about young black men in his neighborhood, citizens, getting ignored or criminalized while the undocumented are getting away with breaking the law. I'm not angry at people for chasing a better life, he says. I just want to know where that support is for the folks who've been here all along. Linda, a retired school teacher in her 70s, follows. She taught public school for 35 years. The last decade, she says, was the most difficult. Her voice is gentle, but her words are firm. She remembers classes where the majority of the students couldn't speak English. She remembers textbooks being replaced with translation charts. She remembers trying to teach math while explaining basic vocabulary. Linda loved her students. She still does. But she thinks of the American-born children, especially those already struggling that were left behind. She thinks about the quiet ones, the ones who didn't speak up. She wonders what happened to them and how they are doing now. We didn't stop teaching, she says. But we did stop reaching everyone. Carlos is a second-generation Mexican-American in his late 30s. His father emigrated legally from Mexico. It took nearly a decade. He learned English. He paid taxes. He became a citizen. His father did things the right way and raised Carlos to do the same. Carlos went to the U.S. Naval Academy, served in the Marine Corps. He talks about his pride in this country, about friends he lost overseas, about coming home to a new kind of war. A war over language, over loyalty, over labels. He says people call him a traitor for supporting immigration enforcement, a sellout, a brown face for white supremacy. But Carlos doesn't apologize. I'm not anti-immigrant, he says. I'm pro-sponsibility, pro-accountability. He's tired of watching others break the law, bypass the process, and call it justice. Angela, a social worker in her early 30s, works with homeless families, mostly citizens. Some are veterans, some are domestic abuse survivors, some are just down on their luck. Angela says that newly arrived migrant families are being prioritized. They are getting quicker placements. They're not only provided housing, but food and other benefits as well. Sometimes through targeted funding, sometimes through non-profit organizations, sometimes because of politics. She doesn't necessarily blame the families. Not all take advantage, but many do. She blames the system. She blames those who say it's inhumane not to help. Those who forget we have limited resources. We're not built to say no, she says. But we're not built to carry this burden either. John, a former union worker in his 60s, speaks next. He worked in construction his entire life. He laid concrete, he welded steel, he built homes and office buildings across the city. He raised 3 kids on union pay. He thought he would pass the American dream on to his children. But the younger generations are doing worse than their parents, not better. 5 years ago, John was laid off. The company shifted to subcontracting, mostly using undocumented workers who were paid in cash. No union dues, no benefits, no regulations. John couldn't compete. They said I was too expensive, he says. What they meant was, I followed the law. Now John works part-time as a handyman, watches the buildings he once helped build go up with crews who don't speak English, don't pay taxes, and don't report injuries. I didn't quit America, he says. America quit me. Priya, a second-generation Indian American, is an immigration attorney. Her clients are legal immigrants, scientists, engineers, medical professionals. Many of them waited over a decade for visas. Some are still waiting. They followed every rule, paid every fee, attended every interview. But their applications sit in bureaucratic limbo. Meanwhile, others cross illegally and file asylum claims. Some are legitimate, many are not. They're quickly given work permits, legal aid, and public benefits. Benefits paid for by taxpayers. Her voice is steady, but sharp. We've created a system that rewards the shortcut and punishes the process. System that incentivizes breaking the law. Priya doesn't blame those seeking refuge, but she does believe in fairness. One person's happiness or livelihood, she says, shouldn't come at the expense of another. And certainly not at the expense of someone who has done everything the right way. Malik speaks next. He's a college student in his early 20s. He's the son of Somali immigrants who arrived as refugees in the early 2000s. His parents worked hard. His father worked in a grocery store during the day and drove a cab at night. His mother cleaned offices. They became citizens. They told Malik to study, to contribute, to appreciate what they'd earned. Now, Malik is a sophomore in college. He's majoring in political science. He's grateful. But he's also frustrated. He hears classmates praising open borders and calling immigration enforcement racist. He sees protests that romanticize struggle without acknowledging the cost. Malik believes in compassion, but he believes in rules too. If everyone is special, he says, then no one is. Wonders what message we're sending when we treat natural-born citizens like they're the enemy. Treat law-abiding immigrants like suckers and treat those who break the law with compassion. The moderator returns to the podium. He looks out at the faces in the room, some tense, some tired, some quietly nodding in agreement. He lets the silence hang for a moment. He asks if anyone else would like to speak. A member of the city council comes forward. She is the last to speak. She says it's important to understand the impact immigration has on the city's budget. She discusses funding issues, cuts to various programs and social services, and the allocation of resources. The audience grumbles. The councilwoman concludes by saying she is aware of the community's frustration, but that at the moment, without an increase in taxes or some other sort of additional funding, her hands are tied. The moderator says, "Thank you, councilwoman." He then addresses the audience. "You've spoken with honesty tonight, with frustration, with dignity, and with a deep sense of investment in this place we all call home." He takes a breath. Next week, we bring both groups together, not to argue, but to listen. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please watch the other videos in the series.